What's up, everybody? It's week 16 of the NFL season. Let's get started. Here we go. The first game, you have an NFC West showdown between the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams and the Seahawks are both tied. Currently, the Rams are the number 1 seed. They're 5-2 on the road. Seahawks are 5-2 at home. Seahawks are 1.5-point favorites. The Rams will likely be without Davante Adams this week with the hamstring injury is keeping him out. And these two played a few weeks ago. When the Seahawks lost, they missed a field goal, and the Rams won. Darnold did not play very well overall. He turned it over quite a bit in that game, and the Rams won because of that. I'm going to go with the Rams to win this time, and I think the Rams sweep the Seahawks. Then, Saturday, you got two games. You got the NFC East showdown between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. And you got the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers game. First, you got the Eagles and Commanders. Jayden Daniels is now shut down for the remainder of the season. They should have probably done that already. He re-aggravated his elbow injury that he had. Unfortunate for him, the Commanders were not very good this season. They had injuries to McLaurin for most of the season. Jayden Daniels was out for a while. And even then, they just weren't very good. And the Eagles had not been very good lately. They're struggling all of a sudden. They did beat the Raiders, so they got back to winning. And I think they'll win here. I think the Eagles will beat Commanders. Could be closer, even though Mariota is going to be playing. And the Eagles have been struggling lately, but I still think the Eagles win, and they will clinch the division with the win. Then, of course, you got the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears. These two teams played 2 weeks ago in Green Bay. It ended up being a closer game than it looked like it would have been. The Packers lost Micah Parsons to a torn ACL. Unfortunate for them. The Packers, this is a big game for both, because if Chicago wins, this will put Chicago back in first and have them have a good chance of winning the division. The Packers, if they can win this game, it's the same thing. The Packers have an easier schedule, I believe, coming up. So I think in this game, I think the Packers win again. I think they're still better than Chicago, and yeah, give me Green Bay on the road. And then you got the Cleveland Browns taking on Buffalo Bills. Now, if the Browns can force turnovers, this game will be close. But I don't know if they will. Their offense hasn't been very good. Shedeur had a bad game last week. Had a good game against Tennessee 2 weeks ago, even though they lost. Browns were not very good last week. Shedeur had a bad game. 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions or whatever, right? Not very good. Buffalo had their game against New England where they were losing 21 nothing, and then they were down 24-7 at half. It looked like it was all lost, but Buffalo made their comeback, and they ended up beating New England 35-31. So the Bills came back while the Browns did not win. In this game, I'm going with Buffalo, though. But like I mentioned, if the Browns can force a couple turnovers, this game could be closer than the point spread. Point spread said 10.5. It could be a closer game than that, but I'm still going with the Bills. Yeah. Then you got the LA Chargers traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. The Cowboys, man, what a way to lose against the Minnesota over the last week. They had a tough loss. The Chargers coming off a win over the Chiefs to sweep the Chiefs. Um, they and the Chargers coming off a win 2 weeks ago against Philly, so they're on a mini 2-game win streak. They're traveling to Dallas. Dallas looked a little better against Minnesota than they did against than they did against Detroit. Chargers have not looked very good offensively lately and recently, but their defense has been playing good. And I know Dallas is at home. I know Dallas has a good offense. I know Chargers defense is better. And I know that Herbert has not been playing well lately and the offense has not, but I think with the Omarion Hampton coming back, that should help the Chargers. I know he came back last week. He looked okay in his return. He should be better off this week with an extra week of preparing, Give me the Chargers to win against Dallas. I think the Chargers will be able to stop Dallas a little bit. I think the Chargers defense will win them the game. And yeah, then, oh boy, you got this fun matchup. You got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Titans, well, they're hoping this season ends. They got 2 wins. So, there's that. They're hoping the season gets over quicker. And the Chiefs, well, we know what happened to the Chiefs after they lost last week. They were officially eliminated from the playoffs. Not only that, but they lost Patrick Mahomes to an ACL injury. Unfortunate for him. And the rest of the Chiefs, well, their season's over. They're playing for pride now, I guess. Travis Kelce, you don't know what's going to happen there. This might be his last few remaining games. And, frankly, I don't think Tennessee will win this game, so I'm not going with them. I'm going with the Chiefs. They got Gardner Minshew starting, and I think even though Mahomes is out, and even though they're eliminated, I don't really think the Titans will win. Give me the Chiefs on the road. Then, oh boy, 2 teams that are also eliminated. You got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Miami Dolphins. The Bengals. Man, what a bad performance last week against the Ravens. Things were looking up possibly with them. Joe Burrow was back, 2 weeks ago on Thanksgiving. They beat Baltimore. Then, a few weeks later, they lose to Baltimore. And they look pretty bad doing it. They're taking on a Dolphins team that, well, they just got eliminated after losing to Pittsburgh. And they have now benched Tua. Tua's time in Miami could be over. And I believe it will be. Whether they trade him, release him, whatever. But I do not see Tua being back with the Miami Dolphins. And he may be done for the NFL. I have no idea there. But this game, I'm going to go with Cincinnati to win. The Dolphins are starting Quinn Ewers, so I guess we'll see what they got there. I think the Bengals, both these teams' seasons are done, so who knows. I think the Bengals might be a little bit better of the team. I know you might say, what do you mean? Look at their records. Yeah, I get that. 4-10, 6-8. But I think the Bengals win this game. Then you got, the Jets taking on the New Orleans Saints. The Jets, well, I don't know what we can say about them except they're not good. And the Saints somehow beat Carolina for the second time. They swept Carolina. They're 4 wins. And I think the Saints can win this game. Give me the Saints. I think the Jets will lose. Then You got the Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants. The Giants, of course, have been having their issues. They've looked good part of the time, but they still have not been able to win. So that's really maybe building for possible future, like maybe next year they'll be better, but who knows? And the Vikings, well, even though they got the win against Dallas, the Vikings are pretty much done. I believe they're done. So, but they're trying to finish the season strong and see what they got with McCarthy. The Giants might be trying to finish strong as well, just to finish strong, whatever. Give me the Vikings on the road to beat the Giants. Then you got an NFC South matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. The Buccaneers, man, they lost to the Falcons on Thursday night last week. So that opened the door for Carolina to claim first in the division. But what did Carolina do? They failed and they faltered and they blew their chance to get the lead in the division. Tampa took the lead right back after the Saints beat Carolina, and now they're facing each other. They got to face each other this week, and then they play each other again in like 2 weeks. So 2 out of the last 3 weeks they play them. This is a battle. The winner of this likely wins the division, but who knows? This is going to be a tough game. I know Carolina at times looks better and good. They're a lot better than a lot of people thought this season, including myself. I didn't think they were going to be that good. They didn't start very good, and then they started looking better. They have a shot. The winner of this game will likely, like I mentioned, will likely win the division and be the team that makes the playoffs. Give me Tampa to win, though. I believe Tampa is a better team than Carolina, and I don't know. I mean, I know Tampa's been struggling lately since they started 5-1. They have not looked very good lately, and they're struggling. I'm not sure any of these teams will do much when the playoffs come, but for this matchup, give me Tampa to win. Then, man, you got a good game right here. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. The Broncos playing out of their minds. Currently the 1 seed in the AFC. They're playing very good. At times their offense does not look very good, but they're winning because of their defense and everything else. They're taking on a Jacksonville team that has been playing a lot better lately. They have some big wins. They are looking very good. I don't know how well they're going to look in this game because it's in Denver. It's going to be, well, I don't know, maybe in the 50s, so it's not going to be too cold. But I don't know how well they're going to do in Denver. It's going to be a good, close game. It could be. And give me Denver to win. I think Denver's defense will be enough to stop Jacksonville in the end. Could be a close game. I don't know if it'll be a low scoring game. It could be a high scoring game, but I believe it might be a lower score because of Denver's defense. And I don't know how well Trevor Lawrence will play against them. I know he has been playing better lately and all that, but I just think Denver's defense is a lot better, and I think they'll win. Then, man, you got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, man, what a season to forget again. But on the bright side, they have Jacoby Brissett, who's been playing very good. They got McBride, their tight end, who has been very good as well. But everything else is not very good. Now, they did say Marvin Harrison practiced, so he could be back for this game. And then on the other side, you got the Atlanta Falcons, who, I mean, they're trying to win apparently. I know their season's over, but they look very good. At least Cousins looked good, and Kyle Pitts against Tampa. Um, Bijan looks okay, good. Um, on paper, you would think Atlanta is the better team, but for all Arizona could somehow win this game. But give me Atlanta to win in a close game against Arizona. I don't know if Kirk Cousins will play as well against Arizona. I know Arizona is not a good team, but sometimes Atlanta finds ways to lose in games that they should win, and this could be one of those games that they should win, but could find a way to lose because of Kirk Cousins. But I'm gonna go with Atlanta to win. And I think Drake London might be back, but who knows? If it were me, I don't know if I would play him anymore this season. Just let him heal up for next season, because your season's over. But whatever. Give me Atlanta to win. Then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Detroit Lions. Now this game is huge for both teams. One, because the Lions currently will not be in the playoffs. And two, Pittsburgh is currently leading the AFC North. If they win this game, it will be big. They're taking on a Lions team that, I don't know, they're fighting for a playoff spot as well. So they're currently not very good. I mean, they're struggling, not as good as like the last year and the year before or whatever. They're fighting for a spot, and yeah, they're 7-point favorites. They're 5-2 at home. I mean, the Steelers got done beating the Dolphins. However, that was Miami. The Steelers defense shut Miami down. Yeah, they gave up a couple stuff late against Miami, but whatever. Aaron Rodgers looked very good against them. And if he can do similar stuff, they might have a shot. If the defense can get after Jared Goff, they have a shot. If they can contain Jahmyr Gibbs, they have a shot. But do I think they'll win? No, I think Detroit wins this game. Give me Detroit. Then you got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Houston Texans. Not going to really say much about this game. Give me Houston to win. Then the Sunday night game. You got the New England Patriots taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Patriots had won 10 in a row. They looked very good, and then they blew the game against Buffalo. That could be a big deal and could make the Patriots struggle a little bit. But I still think they're a very good team. They're 6-0 on the road. They're taking on a Baltimore team that, well, you never know what you're going to get, apparently. I get it. They're not very good. They're fighting for a playoff spot. Currently, they will not be in. All they have to do is beat Pittsburgh pretty much and win the division. They still have a shot to do that, but I don't know what will happen if they lose and Pittsburgh wins this week. So in this case, in this game, Sunday night, give me the Patriots to beat Baltimore on the road. Then finally, you got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts. Well, they brought Philip Rivers out of retirement last week. He played last Sunday. He played against the Seahawks. He played not very good, but the Seahawks only could get field goals, but they won. Considering Philip Rivers was 44, is 44, and came out without having played in like 5 years, whatever it was, considering they didn't really ask him to do much, he didn't play particularly well. But considering everything, whatever is better than nothing. But he didn't, and the Colts still had a chance. You can tell he can't really throw the ball well, deep, or anything. If you actually watch that game, a lot of his throws were not very good. So I don't know why he came out of retirement or whatever, but just whatever. He tried and he failed. They're taking on a 49er team that, man, they have been dealing with injuries all season. Look where they're at. They're still doing good. They're 10-4. They're traveling on the road. They give me the 49ers to win this game. I think the 49ers are just a better team, and I believe the Colts are going the wrong way. They have not been good since they started 7-1. Remember that? 7-1? Look what they're at now. 8-6. They're 1-5 in the last 6. They're not looking very good. They would not be in the playoffs if it were today. And if they would be in the last spot, but they're not. So whatever. They're not making the playoffs. I mean, Philip Rivers will give it a shot, but I don't believe that he'll do good in this game. And the 49ers will win. Give me the 49ers to win pretty easy. And there you have it. There you have it, folks. Week 16 of the NFL season.